Welcome here to NorCal Sports TV. Dustin Padgett here with you. It's been a long time coming. First time back on the mic with you guys in quite some time. Very glad to be here. We're at Vacaville Christian High School for the 2021 season opener for the Pacific Coast Football League. This is some semi-pro football for those of you who are unaware. Today we're going to have a matchup between the San Jose Stars and the defending champs, the North Bay Rattlers. It's going to be a good game today. As you know, of course, defending champs are going to want to come and show their strength and come out and start the season strong. Not a lot of returning players this year for them, only about 20 guys coming back. Coach was telling me before the game, so it's going to be a little bit of a new look for them, but they're going to be looking to come out and show their dominance. And on the other side, it's a brand new season. San Jose Stars are going to come out, brand new season. The first game you would love to beat the defending champs. You come out and start things off right in the new season. Getting ready to get underway here. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to have some football here for you on NorCal Sports TV.
Should be a great
Welcome back here. Getting ready to get underway as the two teams have exchanged captainries at the center, and we are all ready for kickoff. Looks like the Rattlers are going to be kicking off, and the Stars are going to start off with the ball here.
just moments away from kickoff here.
Great weather we have out here today. You couldn't have asked for better weather to get back to football.
The opener.
I know every one of these men out here is excited. It's been a long time coming. We've all been going through a rough year, as we know, with this pandemic, and to get back to what we all know best, which is sports. Sports junkies out here have missed it, and these football guys out here are loving this opportunity to come out here and start our season off fresh when they didn't really know when that was going to happen. You know, it's been a big question mark for a long time. So that being said, it's back to football here. Getting ready for our kickoff. Officials are all ready.
After a rough year.
And here we go. Rattlers doing the kickoff here. We've got to get the clock up and running. And we got the wave, and we are ready to go. Back to football. And here is the kickoff. It's going to be a little squibber. Fielded at about the 15. Up to the 20-25. Good return. 25-30 as a whole. 35-40. Out to the 41-yard line. Good return there for the Stars. That'll be Omari Carr on the return. Taken down by Dominic Holloway. That'll bring up a 1st and 10 at excellent field position. And the first offensive possession of the season. How will the San Jose Stars start out? Again, like I said, you're playing the defending champs. You couldn't really ask for a better opportunity on the opening week of the season. If you could win this game, you could take over first place or a tie for it feasibly after week 1. And, you know, knocking out the defending champs has got to be something to look forward to. A little bit of a delay here before that first play. I think they're really getting all the kinks out. And we're going to start out in the shotgun. We got 3 wide with 1 back there with them. That'll be Norrell Booker, the running back there with him. And I think the officials are sorting a few things out here, getting clocks ready, pointing at each other. We got the kicking tee still on the field. Good eyesight there. And we got our middle linebacker here with his helmet off and a knee down, so there still looks like going to be a little delay. We are looking for possibly chains. We were talking about that earlier. That very well may be what they're looking for here. It's going to be a little bit moment of a pause while we have a moment with you. We'll give you a few of our notable players here to keep an eye on. But again, you know, everybody has their opportunity here to make big plays today. We've got Daniel Martinez for the Rattlers. And then Nate Marin will be the quarterback. And then Dominic Rose. Hale Twins. Look out for them. That's Malcolm Hale. And Malik Hale, senior. David Tanisi. And this is for the San Jose Stars. And looks like they've got it all sorted out. And we are now ready for some action. Nate Marin, quarterback, back to pass. He's going to have to scamper up. He's going to gain a few yards out of it. First play I've seen from this young man. And, you know, I like the heads-up decision to get something positive on the first play of scrimmage. He took his progressions there. Didn't see anybody open. It was good coverage by the secondary. Had to take what he could get. That'll bring up a 2nd down and 7. Ball on the 43. Back to the shotgun. This time we'll have 4 wide. Extra receiver, probably going to be a pass play. Bad snap. Fielded well. He's going to make the throw. Wide open down the sideline. Caught down to the 40, 35, down to the 32-yard line. That's going to be a 1st down to his big receiver there. That'll be Nicholas Killa-Breland. That must be his nickname. 6 foot, 195 it lists him as, but just from my eyesight up here, I see a little bit bulkier than 195 out of that young man. He comes from Berkeley High, and he played a little bit at Iowa Wesleyan and Cal State East Bay, so he has a little bit of college experience here. A lot of these players are only former high school players, so we've got some former college athletes out here as well. First down play from the 31-yard line. Let's see if they can build off that. Quarterback Nate Marin with a great first pass. Another bad snap. That's 2 in a row. Marin fields it. He's going to go down. That's going to be a sack and a big loss. And that's what happens when you have 2 bad snaps in a row. You cannot play with fire in any game, especially at the sporting event. You try to do something like that 2 plays in a row, you're bound to have something bad happen. The last time Marin was able to get a first down out of it, this time, unfortunately, he's going to take a big sack. And that's going to bring up about a 2nd and 24, all the way back at the 45-yard line, and we are going to get a timeout called. San Jose Stars going to call their first timeout, and I believe that's probably going to be either a change at the offensive line, and yes, the center is going to the sideline. They're probably going to be making a change. They scamper out a new lineman, and that is an excellent decision there from the coach. I love seeing coaching decisions like that. 2 bad snaps in a row, it's time to go. Similar for in baseball, bullpen pitcher, two walks in a row, time to go. And they got to mix up a little bit on the offensive line there. You can't afford to take those sacks. So after that timeout, let's see what they're able to come up with on a 2nd and long. Stars are back ready to go. Rattlers taking a little bit longer of a timeout. And you got to wonder, in any sporting level of conditioning right now. It's first game back in a long time. How have they been practicing in their time off? Now, granted, there's been a lot of extra free time, so, in my opinion, I would say most of these athletes should be well conditioned, should have a lot of time to get prepared for the season, which, typically football, as we all know, is in the fall, but here we are in the springtime, ready. 2nd and long. It's going to be a running play, pitch to the outside. He's going to gain about 3-4 yards there. That's going to bring up a 3rd down and about 20. A long ways to go. Ball on the 41-yard line. After that sack on first down, they've been in a long down and distance. Nowhere near field goal range yet. But you're also in a tough spot to make a punt. So with the 3rd and long, let's see if they go for half the yards here and try to get back into some type of manageable 4th down situation. Usually aren't going to see a long pass here. They need to get down to the 22-yard line for a first down, so it's 3rd and 19. Now we've got just 3 wide and 2 back to block for Marin. Maybe that's to avoid the sack. They're definitely not running it here. They've got both blockers. He steps up in the pocket. He's got room to run, and he gets about half the yardage back. Now look at that. That's what I said that they needed to go for, is give them an opportunity here on 4th down. Yeah, it's about 4th down and 10, right back to the original line of scrimmage, but you're in a position where you're too long for a field goal, too short for a punt, so you've got no options but to go for it here. Let's see what they're able to draw up on this one. The Rattlers are going to be trying to hold them, get the ball back on downs. This ball drive started on the 40-yard line, so they've gone about 30 yards down the field. And we're going to get a timeout called by the Stars, their 2nd timeout in as many plays. And you only get 3.5, so that's going to be 2 of them that they've burned here in the early going. But both of them in important situations. You got to get, a change up after a couple bad snaps in here. This is a 4th and 10 play early in the game, but it's a very important one. You don't want to give the Rattlers the ball on the 33-yard line, and you want to be able to get some points out on your first drive. So let's see if they're able to draw up something similar to that pass play that they had from Marin a moment ago. That was a very good play that was drawn up, and easy completion there to a wide open receiver. So see if they can come up with something similar to that. Going through the Rattlers roster here, we see quite a few good players. I recognize some of these names, which is not too big of a shocker here in a semi-pro football event. Some American River College players here. A lot of locals. A lot of Bay Area players here. We got an offensive lineman played a little bit at Washington State. College of San Francisco. A lot of these O-linemen that the Rattlers have. I'd like to get to see some of these guys back out there. Some of these bulky young men. All right, here we go. Biggest play of this early going, 4th down. Give them about, just about 10 even here. 4th and 10. Need to get to the 22.5-yard line as we see our chains being held by his flags. Another bad snap. Marin was able to, oh, he's going to get picked off here. He throws up a flutter. Intercepted, goes down at the 28-yard line. Intercepted by the Rattlers. That'll be Xavier Rivers there with the INT, number 5. That's one of the players coach told me to watch out for. He's one of their 4 captains on the Rattlers. Let's watch this play again. The 3rd bad snap that we've seen in this opening quarter. And we know that the Stars are going to have to work on that. The bad snap causes the pressure. Marin does everything he could, but when he gets hit right there, that ball flutters up in the air. That literally will be the easiest interception of Mr. Rivers' career at any point in time. That ball right into his pockets, and he went down, which, you know, I don't mind that either. You know, sometimes you see defenders, when they get that interception, try to do too much. I don't mind to see him go down to the ground there, secure the possession, you've got the ball. Now, if you're the Stars, that wasn't the worst case scenario. You actually picked up 5 yards there. It was 4th and 10, so if that pass was incomplete, they would have gotten the ball on the 33. Instead, they get it on the 28, so you could take a little bit of solace if you're the Stars in the fact that, well, hey, you gained 5 yards on that interception. First down play going to be a run right up the gut, something we didn't see at all from the Stars. Rattlers going to start out much differently, right in the I form, straight up the gut. It's only going to be a 2-yard gain there for Sharon Lorenzo Garner, senior, out of Pittsburgh. He went to Antioch High. They have quite a few Antioch High players on the roster here for the Rattlers.
That's up 2nd and 8.
2nd and 8 upcoming. See, we're going to be back to the shotgun here. Probably going to see our first pass of the game for the Rattlers. We've got 4 wide. Oh, it's going to be a run. There's a flag down on the run. Give him about a 1.5-yard gain maybe there, but let's check this flag. That was a pre-snap penalty, so it's either going to be an offsides or an illegal formation or a legal shift of some sort. I believe it's going to be on the offense, but we'll have to see. No, they're going to be an offsides penalty there. Somebody must have been lined up in the neutral zone, so that's going to benefit the Rattlers. They're going to take that 5-yard penalty. That'll bring up 2nd and 3. San Jose Stars so far, a little bit of kinks needing to be worked out in this opening quarter. Had an okay opening drive, weren't able to convert. And now you got an offsides penalty here. You got to shore up those things if you want to beat a defending champion team in the Rattlers.
2nd down and short of 4 yards here.
See if they go to the pass. They have not shown us that yet, but we've got 4 wide, so you assume that's ready. And I see what they mean by these offensive linemen. Look at those big boys. They look a little bit oversized to those defensive linemen. Maybe that's why they're running. And that's a huge hole. That's going to be a 1st down. Give him 14 yards on the run and a 1st down. And you know what? Just from the naked eye, after watching that play right there and seeing the size differential from the line, I have a feeling we're going to see a lot of running upcoming this game for the Rattlers. I don't know if we may see many passes at all, because if they've got such a domination up front, they could put that to their advantage. That'll be an easy 1st down run there for Garner. 1st and 10 on the 49-yard line. See what the Stars do. I like that they're creeping up into the box. They see what's happening. See, probably getting this. Now they're going to go for a pass, and instead of a pass, the quarterback run, and he falls down. They're only going to get about 2 yards there. Good defense. Good tackle from Daniel Martinez, the linebacker out of Oak Grove High. Played a little bit of San Jose City as well.
So it'll be 2nd and 9.
There's only 5'4" it lists here, unless that's a typo.
Rattlers looking to set the tone for today here on their 1st drive.
2nd down and 8. Stars waiting for that first pass. That looked like that might have been one, but instead we had a quarterback run. 2nd and 8. Man in motion. It's going to be handed off to the motion man, and he gets past the tackle. Ooh, nice tackle there. See, yeah, that was perfect form on the tackle for Jason Walker out of Fremont High, defensive end there. You couldn't have asked for a better tackle. That's going to bring up 3rd down and about 4, which would have been an easy 1st down to the edge if he hadn't got there. That was a really well-designed play. Nice handoff. Bobby Guillory Jr. was the wide receiver there out of Jesse M. Bethel High, right in Vallejo. 3rd down play. The Stars have their opportunity here. And they do it. The Stars get the job done. And just what I said a moment ago, see, the Stars, maybe they heard me up here, the defensive line. They said, wait a minute, just because we're oversized doesn't mean that we can't be quicker. And that's exactly what happened there. The whole offensive line got beat. They all got blitzed. All 4 defensive ends and linemen were right up in front. Nothing to do there but go backwards. 4th down, we're going to see them going for it here. And this one I don't agree with. Before, I liked that 4th down attempt because now we're going to see a timeout called. You may see coach change his mind and make a punt. This is a perfect position for a punt. You're at the 45. You can pin them deep in their own territory. We're in the 1st quarter. You can't be too aggressive sometimes in the game of football, and we've got about a 4th and 7 right here. That's not a easily converted play. We're going to keep it here on this timeout and discuss this upcoming play. I think that to go for it here is saying that, hey, we think that we can beat your defense. And right now, based on that last play, I would say that might not be the right option. The Stars defense, for the most part on this first drive has looked good. They had one play that got beat up the middle, but they've had a few running plays that they've stiffed. And no passing plays that were successful here yet so far. So if you haven't completed a pass yet, and look at that, they called the timeout and they brought the punting unit on. I like that decision from the coach. That is a heads-up, smart decision early in this game to take a moment and think about your circumstances. At the moment, you're in the flow of the game. You're thinking, yeah, I'm going to go for it right now. It's 4th and 7. We can get him. It's no problem. But you take a timeout for that reason alone to think about it. Like, well, wait a minute. Let's try to pin them back. Let's see what's the smartest thing to do. And we're going to get a false start on the punt. Maybe too many men. I see him pointing to the men on the field. Illegal substitution on the offense. Too many men on the offense. That's going to be a 5-yard penalty, and that just gives them a little bit more breathing room on the punt. We got running off the field there would be Durante Johnson holding his hands up like, what did I do? Well, Deontay, you were the 12th guy on the field there. Too many. 4th and 12 now at the 49. Back to receive the punt at about the 15-yard line. Good snap, good punt. And he angles it out of bounds. I don't mind that at all on the punt. Don't allow for a return. That's Jordan Jackson on the punt there. Back to receive it. Didn't get the opportunity was DeMar Walker. And so they're going to put this ball at about the 27-yard line for a 1st down. And this will be the 2nd possession so far for the Stars. So here in the early quarter, both offenses looking, a little bit ragged. They had a little bit of ball movement. Each team had one good 1st down long conversion, but then both defenses were able to stop and force a turnover or a turnover of downs.
Looking to get some excitement going here.
Let's see what they draw up here. Let's see if they go to the ground game. They didn't show us anything from their ground attack on that first drive. The only thing we saw was Marin in a broken play. We didn't see anything from the running back. So we've got 4 wide again, back in the shotgun. That's going to be their typical formation. Marin does hand it off. We get the first run of the game, and nothing doing there. Maybe a 1-yard gain if he's lucky. We had a lot of Rattlers in on the tackle. Xavier Rivers, one of them. 2nd down and 9. Marin comes over to get the play. We also have Omari Carr coming in. Now we have Norrell Booker leaving. So Booker, who just had that last run for a 1-yard gain, is going to come out, and they're going to bring in Carr as the other running back. So let's see what they do with this 2 different tandem of running back. Booker looks a little bit bigger than Carr, so I'm assuming he is their, he's their big bulky guy. Whereas Carr is the speed guy. So here's the run to Carr, and he's not going to get nothing doing either.
By number 6.
So they tried 2 runs. I like it. They tried something different, but it did not work. That's Edmondson in on the tackle there for the Rattlers.
Close to a false start there on the play.
And that's going to bring up 3rd and about 13. So they're gone backwards here so far in their first 2 plays. Need to get to the 37 for a 1st down. They're back on the 24. 3rd down and long. Going to need another one of those big plays from Marin here to get something going. He is one of their players to watch. Another high snap. He's going for a pass. He's got an open guy. He hits the back, and they're not going to get much there. Marin takes a hit in the backfield, too, and goes down. Hard hit there, but a good one from Najee Pearson out of Santa Rosa Junior College. Pearson puts Marin down, and Marin was able to get a little bit of gain there, but that's going to bring up 4th and a mile, and clearly a punting situation. However, I don't see the punting formation out there just yet. No way they're going to go for it on 4th and 10 on their own 20. Waiting to see. Marin is over there talking to his coach. Maybe see what they're doing here. Seems like a pretty easy decision to me to make a punt, but Marin's coming back onto the field. So it's also possible they don't have a punting unit. Some teams, don't carry that. I'm not assuming that's the case here, but
Stars looking to go for it here on 4th down in their own territory.
Let's see what they do. Maybe Marin makes a pooch punt or something along those lines. It's 4th and 9.
Maybe they believe in their defense.
4th and 9. They got a 3-yard gain on that last play. Nobody back to field a punt. I think they might see a. No, we're going to go for it.
It's a pass.
And it's incomplete. So they went for the 4th down there. Interesting decision there, and that's going to be a turnover on downs. That's going to give the Rattlers a 1st down on the 24-yard line of the Stars. Now, in retrospect, they had an open receiver here, wide open, in fact, for a split second. They actually had a couple guys that were options there. I think he needed to take a little bit longer on his throw. I think that the Rattlers were a little confused, so that may be a good time to put it on them with a deep throw, but not perfectly designed. And unfortunately for the Stars, that's going to be a big turnover of downs. A bit of a head scratcher. See if the Rattlers can capitalize and get into the end zone.
What a short field this series.
Logan Hollis, quarterback out of American River College, out of Sacramento. I went to ARC for a brief period of time. Lefty quarterback going deep, one-on-one, incomplete. Hollis, he was trying to hit Austin Winston, also out of Sacramento area. Sacramento State he played at, in fact, my alma mater. So an ARC guy throwing to a Sac State guy here. Gotta love those types of football. Seeing some familiar faces out here, and that was good defense by the secondary for the Stars. That was Trayshawn Renty out of Mission High, San Francisco.
As the Rattlers come out. Taking their time here.
2nd down and 10. Going to be another pass. He's got an open receiver, and Winston's going to be able to get about 6 yards there. Nice tackle from Brandon Boyd out of IHS. Bring up a 3rd down. Oh, they're going to move the chains. That's going to be a 10-yard gain just exactly, according to the official. He's sitting on there, so that's a 1st down. So good job from Winston after that short pass to be able to get the yards after catch. That's one of the most important things for a receiver.
Oh, you want me to get Madden? Okay, all right.
And it looks like we're going to have a penalty. Now, I don't know if this was post-play. Into the first quarter. There we go. We've got the end of the first quarter.
So that'll be the end of the first quarter with a 0-0 score.
And the score is 0-0. We're going to take a quick break here on NorCal Sports TV. We'll be right back.
Rattlers look.
Welcome back. Second quarter underway. It's going to be a first down and 10 on the 16-yard line for the Rattlers. We switched sides of the field. So as you see, the Rattlers are now going from west to east, I believe. First down. We're going to have a pre-snap penalty, and that would have been a touchdown possibly, but, you know, maybe some of the players stopped. We'll have to see what the pre-snap call was there. The officials are going to come and talk about it. We hear the sideline for the Rattlers calling touchdown. There's no way they could do that because they blew the whistle. Some of the players stopped, so I don't think that would be a very fair call for them to say that's a touchdown. We got 84 over here. His hands in the air. That's a touchdown. And that's what they're taught to do. That's number 84, Jordan Jackson. He has a little time at Southwestern Oklahoma State out of Santa Rosa, California. That's where I was born. And the official signals a couple of things, and he's talking to people. And it's going to be first down. Coach was trying to say touchdown. They can't call it a touchdown because they blew the whistle. So I think that the officials maybe made a blunder here. We obviously don't know what he's saying to the coach. It's going to be half the distance to the goal and a first down. So no touchdown for the Rattlers, but it's going to be a first down on the 8-yard line.
First down and goal for the Rattlers here.
Let's see. Looks like it's going to be
Rattlers looking to put it in here.
First down and 2 on the 9, needing to get to the 7. So I'm not quite sure what they did on that penalty there. But they're going to get about 8 yards from it. First down situation. Only needing 2 yards. Let's see if they do a run.
18 looking to take the snap.
Snap coming. Here comes the run like I thought. It's going to be a first down. He gets inside. Now it's going to be first and goal on the 4-yard line.
4-yard line.
And that was good defense there again from the Stars. Really not giving too much running room to Edmondson.
Stars making them earn it.
Yep, now it's first down. That's what Coach was coming over here to describe. The last play was first and 2. Now it's first and goal. And after all of that confusion over this past couple of plays, we're back to, normalcy for a moment. First and goal on the 4. Rattlers looking to take advantage of that turnover at downs.
First down.
You got to wonder if the Stars coach is guessing himself on that fourth down and long attempt in their own territory on that last drive. Logan Hollis, the lefty, is probably going to be handing off. He does. pass. No, he knows for the pass, and it's going to be short.
Aaron pass by the quarterback had him wide open.
84 was open there. That's Jordan Jackson.
And he wishes he could get that one back.
Stars not willing to break so easily. They've bent a little bit on the defensive side, but trying to hold their own. It's going to bring up a 2nd and goal here, and you would think you're just going to run the ball these next couple of plays. Probably should have done that on the last one. Trying to do a little bit too much. You just want to get the ball in the end zone. It's the early part of the season. The most important thing is to give your offensive confidence, and gaining confidence doesn't come in trying to be tricky, and that's what they were trying to do there, I believe. That was a little bit too much that Hollis was trying to work with. It's much simpler here to just run the ball. Say, you know, your big man beat my big man. They do a pitch, and he's going to get hit, bobbled, and he's going to lose about 9 yards. And the Stars defense with the step up right here. And when I said that they needed to run the ball on 2nd and goal, that was not the type of run I was referring to. They tried a wide receiver pitch, and the ball was bobbled, and it went off from the start. We get the replay of this play here. When you're trying to gain yards on the ground, the best thing to do is go straight forward, and it's never good to go back. I mean, sometimes that play may work out, but 9 times out of 10, that's what's going to happen there, and you're going to lose a bunch of yards. And that's going to bring up 3rd and goal all the way back on the 11-yard line. So he lost about 7 yards on that play there. And I see across the way there a softball game going on. Young lady's playing some softball. Long pass here. He's got. Oh, and the ball's going to be almost intercepted. The ball was in his hands. Couldn't have been an easier pick for him. And he bobbles it. Aaron Wallace. His teammate was back there with him. You know, his teammate tipped it first, and that was a good tip on the defensive end. And that was actually Marin back there. Wow, he's doing a little bit of both. He's playing a little bit of defense here. Yeah, what a play. That was actually the play that was made was by Renty, Trayshawn Renty.
And so let's see if this is the call.
Dante Mills was over there as well to knock the ball down. So now it's 4th down. Are they going to go for a field goal? No field goal is being taken here. We're going to be going for a 4th and goal on the 11. The Stars have a chance to step it up. So maybe that was a good call from them. He trusts his defense. See if he can get out of this here. Hollis is going for the pass. Back of the end zone. Incomplete pass. And the Stars defense comes up huge. And that was a really good defensive stop there. Aaron Wallace, the free safety out of Long Beach, Jordan High. How about that? That was a huge momentum shift in this game right here. That drive, we're going to look back on that drive, those last 2 drives where they went for it on 4th down on their own 20, where they were able to get the defensive stand. If the Stars are able to turn around and come back and win this game, you know, we're going to look back on that drive and say that was a key moment in this game. Definitely the biggest set of downs in the first half here. So, no points on the board as of yet. 2nd quarter. Stars out here for their 3rd possession. So far they have a 2 turnover of downs.
0-0 here still.
Have not really moved the ball too well on offense, but their defense is keeping them right in the thick of things. First and 10 going to be on the own 11-yard line, so they have a long way to go on this drive. Rattlers defense has been holding their own.
Stars will break the huddle.
See if we have something from Marin here. They tried to run their last possession. They had no luck, so it makes sense to why they were going to the pass the first drive. It seems to be their bread and butter. Back to pass. Has an open receiver. He hits him. Nice crossing route. That's going to be a 1st down. Marin, so far, of the 2 quarterbacks, definitely the only one making the plays. Hollis has no completed passes yet, and Marin has 3. But you could just tell with the way that Marin's throwing the ball that he knows what he's doing back there. Very seasoned quarterback. He had some pressure in the pocket, was able to make that nice touch pass. Now I want to see if he's got the deep ball too. Seen nothing deep from Marin yet. We've seen that he's got the touch down low. He's good at hitting his backs out of the backfield. He found his crosser there. It was a nice first down play.
A little bit of movement we had there on the pass.
Threatening the blitz here are the Rattlers. They're crashing. Marin calls it out. He says, hey, we see these two coming. Going to be a run. Nice run. It's going to be about a 3-yard gain. We had a pre-snap penalty. It's either offsides or an illegal formation.
And it's going to be offsides on the defense.
I see offsides penalty on the defense. That's going to be a 5-yard penalty. So the second offsides penalty we've seen, and coach is raising his hands like, what happened here? And I can tell you, with how quickly the official threw that penalty, it was definitely where he was lined up. It wasn't that he jumped into the neutral zone there. It was that he was already lined up in it. That's something you always got to pay out on the defensive line. I played a little D end myself, and I know very well that if you're not paying attention, you could be lined up in the neutral zone. Of course, they're talking about whether they're accepting the penalty, which I'm assuming they would. They didn't get a very big gain on the play. He only gained about 4 yards, so you're going to always take a 5-yard penalty when you're only gaining 4. So it should be first down and 5. That's right, first down and 5 on the 31-yard line. They're actually they're going to mark it just inside the 31. Call it the 30.5. First and 5. I don't know what was very confusing for them there.
First and 5 were the Stars here. They lined it up.
Simple offsides penalty, 5-yard variety. Might be a false start here. We're going to get a false start on the wide receiver. Jumps too early.
It's going to be a false start.
You could call that on either one of the receivers on that play, to be honest with you. They both really jumped early. So, not going to. It was Caleb Breland out of South Berkeley. And so just the offsides and then a false start, you just wash back to where we were before, first and 10. I mean, if only we could go back 2 minutes and reverse those last 2 blunders.
So they'll line it up and back to the original first and 10 here.
See if we can get a play going now. A lot of clock being ran on a situation like that.
Snap.
Pass is incomplete from Marin there. He had a lot of pressure up the middle. That was Nick Swift-Davey out of Sacramento, played at Wisconsin. Nice pressure up the middle. Going to force the incomplete. 2nd and 10. Marin trying to get something positive going offensively for the Stars.
Stars come out the middle. Rattlers looking to make a stop here. 0-0 ball game here in the second quarter.
Got a big offensive lineman here, too. Look at that. Ernie Castaneda, 6'2", 340 out of Gavilan. We played a little bit of football out there. I know all about Gavilan. Done my fair share of games here with NorCal Sports TV at Gavilan.
Bad snap is to the running back, actually.
That was a bad snap, and they're going to get something positive out of it. Give him about 2-yard gain there. It's going to be up 3rd down and long. And so far, we've seen a lot of bad snaps from the Stars. If I had to say the one thing to be critical so far would be their snapping. They've been playing solid defense. Their offense is clearly trying to figure things out, but it makes things so much more difficult to figure things out when you're getting snaps like this. So watch this. That ball gets snapped here, and it was on the ground. So it looks like it was intended to go to the running back, so that wasn't intended direct snap, but it was low. And when the ball comes low to your running back, it makes it very hard for him to get going with momentum going forward when he has to field the ball on the ground. So before it was high snaps, now it's a low snap. And there's another snap that Marin has to reach for, and that's going to lead to a sack.
Oh, and he is.
And see, that's what's happening. These snaps are causing these plays to happen. And that's unfortunate for the Stars. That's going to bring up 4th and forever. They're going to have to punt now, you would think. They didn't last time, but that was Nathan Guici there out of Morningside College with the sack. And it's going to bring up 4th and about 12. And did Marin leave? Marin left. All right, there we go, Coach. Good choice. I think he decided to make the punt this time. You can't keep putting your defense in horrible positions. Your defense is playing great all day if you're the Stars. Obviously it's 4th and a mile. You're pinned back. It's the typical thing to do to punt. Rarely do you see a coach go for it in a scenario like this. So back to punt is going to be Nick Joseph, listed as a tight end, but sometimes depending on where you're at, what type of league you're playing in, you might not have somebody designated to punt, and neither of these teams have a designated punter on here. Low snap. He was able to get the punt off, though, and he's going to get a good bounce. Look at that, all the way to the 45, 43-yard line. So somehow, some way, they avoided a 3-hop bounce, and 4 guys coming up to block that thing, and were able to get about a 40-yard punt out of it. How about that? Huge turn of field position there. So instead of giving them the ball on the 23 like last drive, now you give it back into them into their own territory all the way back on the 43. Still great, excellent field position. You can never complain if you're starting near midfield, but that could have been such a better situation there for the Rattlers. Could have gotten the block. Could have had no punt even being gotten off. And now they're back there working on the snaps right now with a different guy. I see the Stars over there doing that. They have a completely different guy snapping, and that's probably the right thing to do, because so far in this first half we've seen 5 or 6 snaps that weren't right, and one of them led to an interception. I mean, granted, it's still 0-0 on the scoreboard, but you cannot keep giving teams opportunities by making miscues. Those are things that you can shore up. A little bit low of a snap. Hollis back to pass. Has the guy open, and the ball is dropped. And then he holds his finger like he hurt his finger. See, I'm an athlete. I'm not buying that out there. I know how it goes. You make a drop. You're thinking, oh, wait a minute. I got to, my hand. It was my hand. Got to squeeze that ball. That would have been a long gainer. And might have been a touchdown. There was a guy there. Just depends on how he caught it and how the fluidity of that play went along. That was Moriente Rodriguez there. Listed as a DB, but playing a little bit of wide out. 2nd down and 10. Except the officials are moving the ball up. 1st down.
So after the pass is dropped, it'll bring up 2nd down.
Now, it looks like there was a penalty on that play. Didn't quite see what. It's possible it was a personal foul of some variety. 5-yard penalty. So they only moved up 5 yards. Wasn't a personal foul, but it gave him a 1st down. So it was probably a defensive holding penalty, which would have been of the 5-yard variety, but to give him the automatic 1st down. That's a lateral pass. He gets by a tackle. Going to get him a 1st down. They had the chance there to get him.
Just short of the 40.
And now he's chirping at him. He's chirping back. I don't know what he's saying, but I was watching him there doing a little chirping at Jordan when he stiff-armed him here. That was Dante Mills, gets stiff-armed to the ground. That was a great job from Jordan to give him the 1st down. And so for Hollis, who has been struggling throwing the ball, I like the idea. Give him one that you can easily complete. And if you see, he barely was able to complete that. For the Rattlers' sake, that's where I say they need to shore up his quarterback position right now, because so far we're not seeing too much from Hollis getting the job done. That one was done by his receiver there. He even had to make a little bit of a tough catch on the backwards. Bad snap. Going to be the lefty roll. He's got a guy open, and he overthrows him. Missed him by just about a couple yards, but again, you got to have those throws, and Hollis is having himself quite a rough going here in the early bit. He's had his opportunities. That was a nice design play, roll out to the right for a lefty quarterback. He has to throw back across his body, and you know what? From looking at that, he had enough time to set himself and to make that pass, and he didn't. He threw it on the run, and if he used his eyes in front of him and seen, he's a fast guy. He could know that, how much space that he has. And if he had just taken that split second to set his body to make that throw, probably would have been a touchdown. So he's got to be able to work on those things. But this is week 1. That's exactly what this is for. There's no preseason football in the Pacific Coast League. They might get together for some scrimmages here or there, but this is the first real game action that these young men are facing for this season. So that's going to bring up a 2nd down. See if they get a back to the run. They do. And nice tackle there. He's going to be short of the first down, but that's a good gain. Give him about 8-9 yards there. So it's going to bring up third down, and, you know, stick with the run. I said that's for the beginning of this game, just based on the size of the offensive line to the defensive line. That should be your strength. Now, a lot of the runs that they've attempted have been funky, you know, pitches or adding something different to it. I like the fact that they, on that one, just went right up the gut. Now, look at this offensive lineman here. We got them all out there in their football gear, and we got one guy out here, the left tackle, running around in his basketball shorts. Now, is that allowed to wear basketball shorts out there? I don't know, because if that's allowed, maybe I'll join this league next year. Because I got plenty of basketball shorts like left tackle out here. I'm assuming he probably just left his pants at home. And a big young man like that, I don't know if he can borrow one of his teammates' pants unless it's another one of the offensive linemen. So a long gap between the play. We've had a lot of that. It's a new season for everybody, including the officials. And while they're shoring things up, we're back to action now. 3rd and 2. They're going to pass it. Has an open guy, and there is what he was looking for. Hollis sets his feet and finds his receiver. And that's what you like to see from Yogan Hollis. Nice pass, young man. Julian Wilburn with the reception. Definitely the best throw of the game there for Hollis. Let's see that one again. You see what I mean? He takes his time. He sets his feet. He goes to his progression and fires a dart in there. Excellent pass. 1st and 10 down to the 21. And here the Stars are again. They've been familiar in this first half in this position. They've had these guys pinned back multiple times when they were chasing the touchdown. Right into this area is when their defense really starts shoring up everything on the drive and getting things done. So let's see if the Rattlers can get past that and put the ball in the end zone. 1st and 10. See if they go back to the ground game. They don't. Fake, and he pump fakes it. One-on-one touchdown! Caught it in the corner. That's Jordan for the touchdown. Oh, we have a flag in the backfield. Hold on. One moment. We do have a flag on the field. And based on what the players are looking like, that might be a holding penalty. It is. It's a roughing the passer. Touchdown is good. Touchdown is good. Roughing the passer. That's literally the only other thing it could have been. If in the backfield, you know, that situation where that flag was thrown, you knew it was either a hold or a roughing the passer. The Rattlers got a lucky break there. Yeah, I don't know about that call, but, you know, we'll give it to him. A 15-yard penalty. He did get a little bit of a late hit. But that's a great pass from Hollis. Back-to-back plays. He pump fakes. And he throws a lob. Now, off the throw, it looked like that might have been picked off, but he knew exactly where his receiver was at. He had him open in the corner, and he found that corner to him. Nothing the defender could do at that point once he got beat off the ball. Jordan Jackson into the end zone. Going for an extra point. Or 2. Looks like they're going to go for 2. So, trying to make it an 8-0 lead in the second quarter. 6-0 here, second quarter. Say we're somewhere right around the middle of this second quarter. Do not have a clock operating today, so keeping best track as we can. And got the shotgun. We've got 4 wide. Very similar formation to what they've been. Both of these teams actually have been running all game. Low snap, hands off, and he looks like he's short. They're going to give it to him. The side judge calls him in quickly. The back judge wasn't quite sure. Neither was I. That was very close. It was not a easy gimme by any means. But they will take the 2. See a replay on that. See, he just barely, yeah, he's definitely in there. Rolls himself right in there. Good. And that's going to be a 2-point conversion and an 8-0 lead. That was Sharon Lorenzo Garner Sr.
8-0 Rattlers.
So the Stars are going to get another possession here late in the first half, and then they also will get the ball, or the Rattlers will get the ball to start the third quarter. So this is a big spot for the Stars. They want to be able to match that touchdown and not give the ball back to the Rattlers at the beginning of the third. Kickoff coming.
Was that a 20-yard touchdown pass?
1st and 10 coming up. They're kicking off from midfield, though, the roughing the passer penalty. That's going to give them 15 yards on the kickoff. So instead of kicking from the 35, you get to kick from midfield. Let's see if they can get a touchback out of this. But again, being that you're not running with a guy who's only a kicker, you know, you're probably not seeing too many touchbacks. Let's see what kind of leg he's got. The last couple kicks were squib kicks. So let's see if we've got a big kick coming here or another squibber. Well, he's going way back there. That doesn't look like a squib kick to me. This is Dominic Holloway kicking.
And we'll line it up for the kickoff.
And he goes back to kick, and he's going to kick it off fully, and he gets it back to about the 3-yard line. Good kick. 10, 15, out to the 20, 25, goes down at the 25. That's Omari Carr on the return there.
23-yard return.
It's decent kick, decent return. It's going to give him a pretty average field position start for the Stars. 8-0 lead for the Rattlers, first points of the game. It's been a defensive battle, to say the least. We've seen a lot of turnover of downs. We've seen a lot of negative plays. We have not seen a lot of plus plays. Each side maybe, I would say, at total with 2 or 3 on each side. So not a big shocker early on the season. You know, the offense is getting off to a slow start. You're going to see a lot more defensive plays than offensive plays typically at the beginning of the season. Getting ready to get back to it here. Rattlers, this is a big drive for them defensively, the same as it is for the Stars on the offensive side. If the Rattlers can maybe force a quick turnover or a 3-and-out and then go and score again before the half, then you're in a really good spot for the Rattlers. Get the ball to start the third quarter. Marin back, being pressured, steps out of it. He's got time. Can he find somebody to hit? He's got a man, and he hits him, and he's going to lose yards. And we got a flag on the other side of the field. Flag down on the opposite side of the field where nobody was at. And I'm not sure what I see him calling on that either. Look, that's exactly right. A sideline warning given from the official, not something you're going to see too often. And so they're going to lose some yards there. It's a 5-yard penalty, and it's going to bring up a first down again. So that last play was all for naught, sideline warning. Basically meaning that, you know, you can't be into the field of play. Which in sports, it's kind of a curious call. I mean, for all you basketball fans out there, how often do we see the coach, you know, not listen to the rule that the coaches have to stay on the bench or to the sideline, you know? And do they get technical fouls every time that they step off the bench or come out into the field or into the game of play? No, we don't see that. So I don't necessarily like that call from the official, but you know, I guess it is his prerogative on that situation. Maybe somebody tripped him.
There's some pressure by the Rattlers.
There's going to be a blitz. Marin steps out of it. Has a receiver, and it's caught. One-handed pass and a catch. Nice pass from Marin. And that's going to give him a first down all the way up at the 41-yard line. And so far we've seen between these two quarterbacks, Marin definitely the one with the who looks like he's got the feel of the pocket. Every time that something's happened, he's found a way. He steps up out of all that pressure, and then he sees right before he takes a big smack, too. You got to give him credit for that. You know you're getting ready to get lit up, but you're still able to make the perfect lob pass. Love it. Great play there from Mr. Marin. Let's see if he can give a few more of them to his boys. They need to get this game evened up before the half. That's their goal. First down. Slow snap. High pass. Ooh, that was dangerous. Ball was tipped. Could have been picked. But Marin, you like him staying aggressive.
Looked like he ran it all the way.
Was almost picked off, and it could have been a big play on the interception. That was Montero Thompson out of Pleasant Grove High School. A lot of Sacramento locals on this North Bay Rattlers team. Almost half of them. Not too surprising. We're not too far away from the Sacramento area, just about 45 minutes. We got 2 sporting events going on at Vacaville Christian High School today. Now, when I came here on Google, it says school's closed. You know, do you still want to go here? And I said, well, yes, of course. Might be closed, but we've got things going on here. And that's going to be a sack in the backfield. Marin unable to get away from the pressure that time. And so far, we've seen a lot of pressure coming from that defensive line. Offensive line and defensive line winning. And that sack is going to be a combined sack, but they're going to give most of it to Demetric Antonio. Sacramento guy. Went to San Diego. So a few of these young men have had some nice careers and nice histories here, you know. Wisconsin for one. North Dakota here. Western Oregon. Northern State.
How much time left?
So it's going to be a timeout call or possibly the 2-minute warning. We could be right around that. Ball is on the 37-yard line, and it's going to be second and about 14 upcoming here for the Stars. And again, nothing to hold your heads down about if you're the Stars. You're only down by 8 points. And defense has been doing a great job for the Stars. This game really could very well be a 3-possession game right now. The Rattlers had a couple of turnovers of downs in key positions. So after that timeout, and after that timeout, we're back to it. Here's the snap. A new quarterback in there. Marin is not in the backfield. Backup quarterback one-on-one. Intercepted. But we have a flag. We have a flag.
Wait, there's a flag on the play.
That may be a PI penalty. Ball gets thrown up in the air, celebrating the interception.
We'll wait to see what the ref's decision is.
Des Moines Stroman on the interception.
Right now, it's an interception. Rattlers getting a little hype now after the turnover.
They're talking about the penalty here at midfield. Based on my naked eye, if they're going to call PI on anybody, it probably is offensive pass interference because he shielded him pretty nice there. They were playing the ball. That's either no flag or offensive, I think. Definitely was thrown on the play, and they're still discussing what the penalty is. Offense is still on the field. Now let's see who the new quarterback was here. Let's take a look at that. I thought Marin had been doing a great job, but he had just taken a sack on the play before, and they called a timeout, so it's possible he got shaken up on the sack. And based on what I see here, Jason Faila, a tight end, was in at quarterback. I don't know if that's 100% accurate. If we had a tight end as the backup quarterback here, it might be. So let's see what they call. Ineligible man downfield. Okay. Penalty is declined. Intercepted. Okay, so and the offense was on the field for the Stars, I believe. Oh, no, that's their defense. Okay, they knew what was going on. So an ineligible man downfield, basically that means that one of the offensive linemen ran down the field a little bit too soon before that ball was thrown. Really a useless penalty in comparison to the play, but that interception will count, and it's going to be the Rattlers' ball. So that's what I was saying. It's a huge possession for both sides. If the Rattlers are able to come up with a quick turnover and then go score again before the half, then the Stars are going to be in a world of hurt. Rattlers get the ball to start the third quarter as well. I don't know why they marked the ball all the way up there. There we go. Move it back a little bit, guys. 34-yard line. First down. Low snap, ball on the ground.
He'll just jump on it.
He was able to cover it, but barely. Just in time before the defender jumped right into that pile. Second and about 13. So they lose 3 yards there. A lot of bad snaps on both sides so far. Something that needs to be shored up. That's one of the easiest things in the game of football, to make a snap. I mean, it's hard to say you see that many bad snaps in one game. I don't think I ever recall something like that. Especially at a level of semi-pro as we're at now, you don't expect to see that happening repeatedly over and over again throughout the course of a game. We already saw the Stars make a couple of changes on their snaps. Let's see if the Rattlers do the same thing. And there was another timeout called after that play, or the 2-minute warning. One of those. The 2-minute warning had to have been here one of these last couple of possessions. And as far as that whole timeouts go, I swear we've seen more than 6 this half.
All right, so
but we'll let them keep track of that out there. Second and a long shot. Let's see if they can get some positive yards here. Hollis 4 wide, 1 back. Similar setup they've been doing most of the game. He rolls out. He goes for the pass. Has a guy. And he catches it. Tiptoes the sideline. What a catch there. We're going to bring up about 3rd and 3. Give him a 10-yard gain. Great pass and a great catch. And now the cohesiveness, finally for the Rattlers offense, finally starting to show up here in the first half. The last few plays on that last drive, and now here to start this drive. Minus that bad snap, that's a good pass there from Hollis. 3rd down and short. Let's see if they use the running game here to try to pick up this first down.
Rattlers break the huddle here in the second quarter. Looks like trips left. Hollis surveys the defense. Takes the snap.
And back to pass. He's going to go down. Short of the first down. Maybe a half-yard gain there, but it's going to bring up a 4th down. That's a great tackle there. Big man with the tackle. That's DJ Rose out of San Jose. Defensive line, 6'2", 300 pounds out of Mr. Rose. And he sure looks it, too. Let's see the replay on this one. Rose was not going to let him get by. He gets up through the pressure and then goes back and gets the quarterback. What a play there from Rose. Beats the guy up front and was able to cut back and still make the tackle. And that's a 300-pound young man out there, too, able to be shifty like that. And now we are going to get looks like the halftime break. So that will be our halftime break, and it's going to be an 8-0 lead for the North Bay Rattlers at the half, and they will be getting the ball to start the second half. We're going to take a little break, come back here for our halftime recap on NorCal Sports TV. Welcome back here to NorCal Sports TV. Dustin Paget here with you guys. Hope you're all enjoying your Saturday afternoon. I know we are out here watching some semi-pro football from the Pacific Coast Football League. This is week 1 of the 2021 season. But it's more than just that. It's the first game back for a long period of time for a lot of these men who've been dealing with, well, what we've all been dealing with, which is life changes. And that's something that we all have to get used to, and that's part of life. You know, things happen that we can't always expect, and the best way to do that is to take it with a grain of salt. And I know that everyone out here has been doing that, and they've been out of the game. They've been ready to play. Now they've got one half under their belt, so they're back. They can feel it. You know, now it's time to really lock it in, focus on the mistakes that they were made in the first half, and move past them. It's an 8-0 game at halftime. The Rattlers in the lead, but I can tell you at halftime, neither coach is going to be happy. They probably chewed the teams out on each side pretty well. You know, there was a lot of miscues, a lot of penalties, a lot of turnovers. It was not a well-oiled machine on either side by any stretch of the imagination. So that being said, it's time to see if they can make the adjustments necessary on both sides and play better football. I think that's the most important thing that the coaches probably want to see out here is, doing the right plays. If the results don't come, sometimes that's how it is in life. It's results oriented. You can't be that in any type of way. You're not always going to win. Unfortunately, in sports, only one team can win. I mean, sometimes you could draw. It depends on the scenario. But, usually it's only one winner and one loser, and that's how it's going to be. So, as far as the defending champs go, 8 points in the first half, a lot of miscues. They could take some lead. They haven't given up any points. Their defense has played well. They've really came to show that, hey, yeah, we're the defending champs. If you're going to beat us, you're going to have to play your A game. And the Stars clearly have not played their A game here so far today. On their side of the ball, defensively, that's where they've shined the most. The Stars' defense has looked better than any facet of either team so far. Offense, defense. Now we got a kickoff here. No kicker. You could lineman kicking it off. Fielded at the 30, returned all the way to the 48-yard line. So, that's a big talking point. If you don't have a kicker, it makes things a lot more difficult. That's why we saw no punt earlier in a certain scenario. We haven't seen field goals being attempted. That time we had an offensive lineman making that kickoff, and he did not get a lot into it. And you can't blame Mr. Jordan there. That's finished Jordan out of he played some at San Jose State. That's not what the offensive linemen are meant to do on the football field. In fact, I'm not quite sure why they had him kicking. I'm assuming that, it's one of those kick by committees type things, and when you're in practice, at the end of practice, just kind of messing around, you got a few guys just trying to kick the ball, and I guess they found out that Mr. Jordan here, had somewhat of a leg, but not really so much on that kickoff. That might have only been about 30 or 40 yards. Not even as long as a typical punt should be. So great field position to start the second half for the Rattlers on their own 45-yard line. Snap here. Going to be a run up the middle. Nothing doing. 1 yard gain, and a team of tacklers there, but led by the big man in the middle, number 94, DJ Rose. And Mr. Rose says, nobody is getting by me up the middle. I'm the nose tackle. I'm 300 pounds. And that running back literally, and I'm not kidding, was half his size. Running back has 145 pounds on him sopping wet, where this guy's 300 pounds. That's not a good matchup for the running back there. And right there, so far, we would assume the Rattlers would have a lot of success running today, but they really have not. Been held well under 50 yards, have not had other than one long run game. It's going to be a pass. I like it, a swing out to the running back, but good tackling, good pursuit. He's going to be short of the first down, give him about 4 yards there. So it's going to bring up third and about 3. That was a nice play from Hollis, but it was better defense, I feel like, because that could have been a long gainer. He had him in open field. He had his running back right where he wanted him on that play. But good defensive pursuit and gang tackling there was able to stop a long gain. So overall, positive play for both teams, but good job from the Stars to prevent something more dangerous. So this is a big play here. First set of downs, and it's third down. Third down and 4. The run up the middle. It's going to be stuffed. 1 yard gain. Guess who is there? Number 94, DJ Rose. That's the 4th time we've called his name. That guy is everywhere in the middle. You do not want to keep running the ball up against him because he's going to take you down. And now that brings up a 4th down and 3, which, you highly doubt they're punting it right here. So this is a huge moment for the Stars. If they can get them right here and get the ball back, they'd have the ball at midfield. Big momentum shift opportunity here for the Stars defense. Can they do one more time? You see Rose catching some breath there, down on one knee. He's really been putting the full pressure. He's going to be going again. They're going to try and run it maybe here. It's 4th and 3. Nope, going to be a pass. They got pressure. They have an open receiver, and he one-hand catches it. With one hand. It was a bad pass from Hollis, but the receiver was able to make the one-handed catch and get the first down.
of the Stars.
What a catch there. See that one on the replay. That was a 4th and 3. And you see the one-handed behind-the-body catch. Not a good pass at all from Hollis, but his teammate helps him out. He was so wide open that he had the time to be able to make that catch. And now we're going to get a timeout, possibly.
And we're going to have a timeout by the Stars.
Yes, Stars are going to call their first timeout of the second half. We've seen a lot of timeouts being used. So they're down 8-0, and they had a good stand on that opening drive, but weren't able to get the ball back on that 4th down play. Now let's see if the Rattlers can continue the drive and get into the end zone. It's been a low-scoring game, so another touchdown here would be key. Looks like they have somebody that might have gone down on that play, number 29. Down on one knee over there. Brando Melcher, the defensive end. So, first down play for the Rattlers. 8-0 lead here in the early going in the third quarter. Do have a rolling clock in this league. I had to clarify that with an official at halftime break. So that's why you see these 15-minute quarters moving a lot quicker. They only stop it on first downs and penalties. Pass out, another little swing. Good play there. He runs over a tackle and gets about 3 yards extra. Might even be a first down. It's going to be very close. It's going to bring about second and about 4. Give him about 6-yard gain there. That was Christopher Washington, his first catch of the game. Out of Occidental College, right out of the Concord area. Going to be a run up the middle. Nothing doing. See, so far the Stars have really done a good job on the defensive front. When they're oversized and they're winning the battles, that's really just a matter of effort. I mean, it's very clear if you're oversized and you're winning the plays. There's got to be the fact that you're getting them beat to the ball. Really, and that's exactly what's happened on that defensive front. They've been able to make those tackles before the running back's been able to get too much success. They only gave him about 2 yards there.
Hollis looks to be calling an audible here as he surveys the defense.
And looks like it may be a 4th down and 1 here. Hollis going to make pass. Wide open. Touchdown, Rattlers. And Hollis knew he had his guy open, too. And that was a great pass from Hollis. That's Austin Winston out of Sac State. So the ARC guy to the Sac State guy for the touchdown, pending the 2-point conversion. Fakes to the running back. He gets a big hit, but he knew when he got a hit, he had a one-on-one receiver out there. The defensive back gave his full-out effort to try to knock that ball down, full-on dive, just over his outstretched arms. And once it got by him, that was an easy touchdown for Winston, able to walk in. So they're going to go for 2 again. We have not seen any extra points or field goals attempted. May be common for this league. Who wants to see kickers when we could see more offense?
Oh, low snap.
And it might be a turnover. If he goes the other way, he can get 2 out of that, but he gets tackled by Hollis. So, good job there for Hollis to tackle him after that. So it's going to be no good on the 2-point conversion. That's actually big, so it keeps it at a 14-0 game instead of a 16-0 game. 16-0 is pretty tough. You know, you got to score 2 times and the 2-point conversions. Now you're in a position to where you only need 2 touchdowns. You know, I don't know about the kicking. We haven't seen any extra points attempted, but, you know, depending on where the scenario is late in the game, you know, if they're down by a point late in the game, you might kick an extra point, but we'll have to see how that progresses if the Stars are able to score a touchdown. Haven't put any points on the board just yet. Down 14-0, middle part of this third quarter. And we're getting ready for the kickoff here. We see Stars coach out at the 35-yard line. I think he's getting ready to play a little bit himself too. He just doesn't have his gear on. Everybody's ready for the kickoff except he's still standing out there. Got his whole team ready. The other team's ready. Got Coach out there like, well, Coach, come on. Now, I was talking to Coach before the game, and he said 3 of the 4 coaches for the Rattlers are actually players as well. So that's something that is typical in this league. You're going to see that quite often.
Coach looked like he wants to get out there and put a hit on somebody more than the player. And
I think he's lining up people. Looks like that's what he's doing. I'm assuming that he might be a little frustrated. They're down 14-0 right now, and, that's a little frustration there. Say, hey, let's go. You get in this spot, you need to be lined up where you're supposed to be, or when our next practice comes, you're going to be running wind sprints until you vomit. Because I remember what football was like. That's what it was like, especially during what they call Hell Week. And normally, Hell Week is right around this time of year, but things are a lot different with the pandemic. Kickoff coming, another little squibber, fielded at the 30. They're going to get great field position. They're going to try something funky. Gets blocks. Going across the field. So, yeah, he just ran all the way across the field, didn't get any extra yards there. I think it would have been his best benefit just to go straight ahead. He might have gotten an extra 10, 15 yards out of that return. Instead, he only gets about 7 yards in total when he ran about 40. He only gained about 7 yards. Running all over the place. Going to be decent field position, but could have been better. 1st and 10 on the 37, down 14-0.
As the Stars look to set up, needing the score here.
Let's see if Marin was back out there. The last play they had replaced him. But there he is again. Their man. Now we see a lot different formation than we've seen from. No, Marin is out of there again. So Marin must have taken a blow on that sack. Oh, after the play, a little bit of push in there. Nothing going to be called. That would probably go on down on the Flop King Sports Center segment if they had seen that. But the biggest thing to note here is that the starting quarterback, the one making all the plays for the Stars, Marin, is out of this game. And based on the roster that I have in front of me, we have a tight end in there at quarterback as the backup. And that would be number 24, Jason Faila. So listed as a tight end, but doing dual role as a backup quarterback. And, again, we didn't get any info at halftime, but it looks like Marin is currently out of this game. And that is a huge blow because, as you see, now they've changed their offensive flow completely. Instead of having 4 wide and 1 back, now we're going into the I form with 2 running backs, meaning we're going to see a lot of runs coming. And that was a mistake in the backfield, but he was able to turn it into a positive gain out of 2, was Faila. So that's going to bring up 3rd down and about 5. And going to be very interesting to see what – oh, and now Faila is down on one knee over here on the sideline talking to the coach. And he's going to have to call another timeout. The Star, oh no, this is very unfortunate for their Stars because Faila looks like he's down and out. And so he's their backup quarterback. They're going to have to go to the 3rd stringer, which very well could be an offensive lineman for all we know at this point. So, if a tight end is your backup, and who knows who your 3rd string is going to be. They don't have any 3rd string quarterback listed on here. And this last couple of plays, they went to the I form and were running the ball specifically only. And when you're in a comeback situation down 14-0, you're not going to be playing that style unless there's a reason. And, well, the reason is pretty clear. Your starting quarterback is out, and your backup quarterback is in a better suited situation to run the ball than he is to pass it. But now, and so the backup's coming back. Faila, after the timeout, he took his breather. Coach gave him that. He's going to be back out there. And that's their 2nd timeout used of this half, so they only have 1 remaining. Burned 2 of them already. 3rd down and 5. Faila's back out there, so I'm looking for Marin on the sideline. There he is over there.
Check out the replay of the game later on NorCal Sports Television.
Yeah, doesn't look like he's coming back in.
As the Stars come out,
Faila goes to fake the pass, avoids the sack. Throws it. Has a receiver. Almost intercepted. Could have been a pick six there.
Would have been for sure to the building.
Now it's 4th down, and let's see if they punt it here. Faila's running off, and they are. So it seems like with the whole quarterback injury situation that the Stars have taken the pedal off the gas. 4th and 5 here, which we've seen a lot of the time they've been going for it. They're just going to concede and make the punt. Not going to even attempt to go for it. So far, Rattlers in full control, 14-0 lead here in the third quarter. Coach is over here trying to figure out what they're going to do. He's going to call another timeout, their last timeout of the half. Interesting here, trying to figure out what they're going to do on this 4th and 5 play. They had the punting unit out there, but where you're at on the field, where you're at in this game, I don't think that the right move would be to punt here, 4th and 5. Even with your backup quarterback in there, you need to take your chances here at midfield and go for this and see if you can progress this drive into a touchdown. Because if you don't score one of those soon, you're almost conceding the game. And I can tell you, nobody on the Star side wants to concede this game. This is a big game for them. They're playing the defending champs from last year. You don't want to come out and lay an egg on the first game versus the defending champs. And after that timeout, I'm going to get back to it, see what they're going to do. Still a long discussion over there, trying to figure out what their best move is. And, I want to thank all of you fans for tuning in today for a lot of reasons. And for the fact that, hey, this is my first game back on the mic in a year. I appreciate you guys listening. But also, the fact we got March Madness going on right now. You guys are taking your time out of your day to watch us instead. We appreciate it. We hope you guys are enjoying the broadcast and enjoying the game. While it hasn't been the most fluid of games, again, these guys are out there having a good time. I can promise you that. They go for it on 4th down with the run, and they get the first down. Good play to the sideline. Give him about 12 yards on that, so it wasn't even close. And again, that's what I said. They were going to punt it, and then they called the timeout. They went for it. That's the third time I've said that this game where, the coaches take their time. They call a timeout, and then they change the idea of what they were going to do. And so far, all 3 times the coaches have changed, they've made the right move, at least in my opinion. And that one there goes to show that it was the right idea. You're giving your team still the opportunity. Yes, your backup quarterback's in there. Yes, some things haven't been going right. But it's only 4th and 5. As you can see, even a running play on 4th and 5 can assume the first down if some points in time, just depending on the situation. And they've run the ball this whole drive. The fumble, the ball is snapped on the fumble. On the snap, it was fumbled, but he was able to control it and pitch it and gain 3 yards. Second down and about 7 here. A lot of loudness coming. Apparently that was from the Stars sideline. I thought I was hearing something in my head there for a moment. Second down play upcoming. Going to go back to the ground. It's been working this last few plays. He's got the outside. First down and then some. Good tackle. That was a good run and a good tackle. Everybody did their job there. Amari Carr got the corner to get the first down. Give credit to Jonathan Jones on the tackle, but that's going to be a first down on the 37-yard line. And so far, the best drive of the game for the Stars, and it's with the backup quarterback in there with Faila. You got to love what you've seen so far. They've changed their game plan up altogether. And if you're a coach, it just makes you scratch your head because with your starter, you were in the 4-wide shotgun formation with one back all game long. You couldn't do anything, but now all of a sudden you go to the I form and you're having all this success. He's probably thinking to himself, dang, why didn't I start the game this way? Because if they had been playing like this from the beginning, they would have been controlling a lot more clock, and this score would be a lot different. Another run another positive gain. Now, it's only 3 yards, but again, they've done that a couple times on this drive. The first play, they get a few. Second play, a few more. Then they bust for a big one. They're controlling the time of clock. They're making the defense tired. I love what I'm seeing from the Stars on this drive. You got to take what you're given sometimes. Your quarterback goes out. You've got a guy in here who typically plays tight end. Why not mix it up a little bit? Why not give him the chance to be successful? And to do that, I like the change, putting only a couple wide receivers out there. Right now, they've only got one wide. We haven't seen that all game. Clearly going to be a running play. And this time, finally, the Rattlers have understood what was going on, and they stop it for a short loss. So, about 5 runs in a row. Now you're in a position with 3rd and long. You got to mix it up. Now you got to make a pass here. So they're in the position now where the Rattlers know that that's where they're having their success. So Faila is going to have to make a play with his arms. They got 2 plays here to get 8 yards. They're in a decent position still, but they're probably not going to be able to just continue to keep running the ball like that. When the Rattlers, you look now, same as they were going 1 wide, the Rattlers only have 1 back. All the cornerbacks, everybody's up in the box. They got the free safety hanging out, but he's not even that far back. Perfect time now for a fake. And they're going to go they're going to pitch and go for a pass. Wide open. Oh, he misses him. I love the idea. They had their chance right there. That's going to bring 4th down up. I love it. That was a good idea. That was the defensive, let's see, who was that passing here? Number 81, McLeod. Quentin McLeod out of Monte Vista Christian, a wide receiver, was the one who made the throw there.
Luckily for the Rattlers.
So 4th down now coming up. They're going to go for it clearly here on 4th and 8. Need to get down to about the 29-yard line. They're at the 37. And again, got to like that play.
Stars after the last play trying to make something happen. Let's see what happens here.
And they're going to go for a run, and he loses it on the pitch. Oh, no. And then he knocks the ball to the other team. Rattlers are going to recover the fumble there. That's going to be a 1st down for the Rattlers. That's Najee Pearson on the fumble recovery, celebrating with his teammates. And that was a dreadful way for the Stars to end that drive. But you're with your backup quarterback. But on 4th and 8, they're going for a pitch play to get the 1st down. I understand it because they got the 4th and 5 on an outside run too. But they had 4 or 5 outside runs on that drive alone, and the Rattlers were catching on to that, and you could see even if that ball wasn't fumbled or it wasn't a bad pitch, there's no way that Carr was going to get the 1st down on that play. Omari Carr had 0 chance to get the 8 yards no matter which way they did it because there was too many defenders in the backfield there, so don't like that. I think they should have given Faila at least a chance to throw the ball. 4th and 8, it's the time to throw it. Instead, now it's going to be a chance for the Rattlers to pour it on a little bit here. 1st down play, they're going to get about 4 or 5 there. And when he goes down, he gets tackled by a bunch of gold shoes over there. Who's that? That's Brandon Boyd with the tackle. All I could see when he was down on the ground was flickers of gold. About a 7-yard gain there, 8-yard gain. Going to be 2nd and short upcoming. 14-0 lead late 3rd quarter. North Bay Rattlers looking to come off their championship with a win. That's going to be a big loss in the backfield. Nice play. That's going to bring up about a 3-yard loss. So in 2nd and 2, it goes back to 3rd and 5. And if you're the San Jose Stars, you're back in a position where all game long you've been relying on your defense. Now more so than ever with your starting quarterback out of there. Can they come up with a big play here? They need a turnover. A stop in the backfield would be helpful. They could probably get the ball back real quickly here, but I think that they really need a turnover. They need something big to go their way. See if they can get this ball back. 3rd and 5, 4 wide. Probably not going to be a run here. It's going to be back to pass. He one-on-one. Nobody but defenders there, and it's dropped.
Should have been intercepted.
We got a flag thrown.
I believe he jumped too early.
We've got a ball could have been picked, should have been picked. He dropped it, but a flag was thrown, and I'm wondering if he was out of bounds and came back in, was the first one to touch it, because there's no other penalty they could have called there.
Yes, he does. Oh, push-ups.
There was nobody over there that contacted each other. There was nothing like that. Yep, he was out of bounds. That's the penalty. So he goes out of bounds first and then comes back and is the first one to touch it, and that's going to give them a penalty. Very unfortunate penalty there. And I don't see him going out of bounds whatsoever there. I disagree with that call. Doesn't look like he was near the sideline on that. So with that penalty on the Stars, they're going to give him an automatic first down. But, again, I just don't see that sideline. It didn't look like he was out. We see the replay there. I don't know. Nothing to speculate there. They make the call, it's going to be a first down. And so far, that's a big blow to the Stars. That would have been a fourth down situation for the Rattlers. It would have been 4th and 5. But they're going to get the first down out of it. Here comes a run up the middle. No, fake run. He even fooled me. Nice pass. Good catch, too. Going to get about 5 yards out of it. Good job there from Hollis. He's gotten, as this game is going on, he's really getting back into the fluidity that he's used to. That was Threats there with the reception. Actually, that'll be Quintero Allen, 34.
Looking to move the ball. 94.
Second
Looking
and
to put a stop to it.
2nd and 4 here.
That's how you get pumped. That's how you get pumped up. You're like, oh, shit. You're like, I gotta get here right now. He come, man. Snap.
Here goes Hollis back for the pass. It's tipped and it's out of bounds. Incomplete third down. He's having some trouble with his accuracy in this game here. He's had a couple of good ones, but for the most part, been very inaccurate. And that's something as a quarterback that you can easily work on. You don't need to have anybody with you. So I was a former baseball pitcher, and I can tell you, same thing goes for a pitcher that goes for a quarterback. You don't need people to practice. You don't need people to focus on your accuracy. You could go out by yourself with a football and find a target and work on your accuracy all day long. So that's the only thing I've really seen from him today so far that I would say he needs to work on. You know, he's had a lot of inaccurate throws, and that's going to be the end of our third quarter here. We're going to take a quick break. 14-0 lead. The Rattlers add on 6 points in the third. With the ball heading to the fourth quarter on NorCal Sports TV. Welcome back here to NorCal Sports TV. 3rd down and 4 upcoming. The Rattlers with a 14-0 lead here heading to the fourth quarter, but I can say without a doubt that probably, well, maybe the guys having a good time, but the coaches on the Rattlers staff probably not too happy with the results so far. Yeah, they might be pitching a shutout and winning the game, but not really doing a lot. In fact, offensively, they've been kind of anemic in this game, and for the defending champs, you would expect to see more than an anemic offense. And again, as you see there on a 3rd and 5, they just cannot get the run up the middle to be successful, no matter what that they do. So it's now 4th down and about 4 yards. Actually, they lose a yard there according to the line, so it's going to be 4th and 6 instead of 4th and 4. So 4th down play, this is big for the Stars. You still have this whole quarter to go. You'll probably have the ball 2 more times, I would say. So you're down by 2 scores. could still tie or win this game. But it's going to start with this play right here. Very important play. Rattlers get this first down. You could almost feasibly say that might be, the nail in the coffin. But if they're able to stop them here, get the ball in good field position, and maybe break a run, or maybe Faila can get some passing game going. We'll see. Bad snap. Hollis fields it. I don't know if he's got anybody. He finds a receiver, and it's dropped. They had it in his hands for an easy first down, and the Butterfingers got to him and completely dropped the ball. Wide open receiver. We've seen a lot of drops today. And for Hollis, he was in the pocket. He was being pressured. Finally was able to get out of it and make a positive play. But his receiver drops the ball. And so that's the lucky break I feel like the Stars needed. Yes, it wasn't an interception. It's a turnover of downs, though. And right there on the sideline, he has the first down. He just has to squeeze the ball. So here we go for the Stars. They've got the ball down by 14, good field position. They're going to have to try to move the ball. Faila coming back out there. So, again, as we mentioned, Marin went down earlier.
He's been the one moving the ball for the Stars this game.
1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. Let's see if they come back out in the similar I form. Fourth quarter, they're doing what's comfortable for them, but at the same time, this is a football game and you're trying to win. So there you go. I like it. They switched. They're back to the shotgun. They understand. It's time to push forward now. We did what we could last time. We have to give him a chance to throw. And so we're going to see him throw, but another bad snap. Good movement in the pocket. Has a receiver. Bad pass, though. But you can't blame that play on Faila, because that was a horrible snap, and you give credit to Faila for even being able to get an incomplete pass out of it, in my opinion. So, bad snaps all game long. You're on your backup quarterback. How can you give him success if you can't snap him the football? And I said it since the beginning of this game. At the end of this game, the Stars are going to look back, and the coach is going to be saying, why can't we snap the football? That's been our biggest problem all game long, just snapping the football. They can't even get the base play of football, the very starting play. They can't even get it shored up through 4 quarters. It's very frustrating to watch, and I'm sure for the coaching staff, very frustrating to see for them as well. I saw them working on different people with snapping over there on the sideline, but, it is what it is. I'm assuming they have their best crew out there, so, they really just are having issues getting the ball to the quarterback. And with this rolling clock, they're not taking any quickness, too. I like the fact that they shifted up their formation, but they have to move quicker, too. Again, you're trying to win this football game, and, how much time is there really going to be for you down the stretch to score 2 times? See if he can make a good pass. Better snap. Goes to the running back. Running back makes a move. Breaks off some tackles. He's still going. Down the sideline, 40, 30. That's a house call. Touchdown, Stars. Just like that, we are back into this one, but hold on. We do have a flag at midfield. There's a flag, and all of the Rattlers are pointing that this is on the Stars. So let's wait and see. Where it's thrown could be a holding, but we don't know. What a play that was, though, to break off about 4 tackles and then hit the open field. Yes. Offensive lineman just threw his hands up in frustration, so I'm assuming that they're calling this on the Stars, and that is a backbreaker. The only play they've had all game, really. A nice swing pass out here. It was going to be about a 5-yard gain. You see right here, he runs through that guy, says, wait a minute, you're not going to take me down. 2 other guys miss him, says, see you later. Down the sideline to the end zone. That was Norrell Booker, their starting running back there, with that touchdown scamper. But again, that penalty is going to be on the Stars, and it's going to move it back. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down and long. And wow. How about that? That could have been their opportunity. That would have cut this to a 1-score game. Still had plenty of time left. 2nd down. So it's going to be 2nd down and about 8. Would have been a long gainer there for the end zone. What a play Norrell Booker made there out of the backfield. And he's on the sideline, and his teammates are giving him some high fives. You know, it was still a great play. Nothing to hold his head down about. He's getting some handshakes over there, and I like that. I mean, you know, things don't always shake the way you want to, but that doesn't take anything away from the play that Booker just made on the field. And anybody who's watching this game going to say that that wasn't the best play today that we've seen, they're lying, because that was by far the best play on this football field that we've seen all game long. So granted, the Rattlers are the ones winning this game and probably going to take the victory. But at the end of the day, if you want the highlight reel play from this game, you look at that young man, Mr. Booker, there and watch that play again. Another horrible snap, and this one could be a touchdown for the Rattlers. Ball is bobbled. Rattlers are able to recover it, but he wasn't able to pick it up cleanly. First down, Rattlers all the way down on the 13-yard line. So the bad snaps finally come back to bite him with the turnover. Quintero Allen recovers that one. He out of Roanoke Park went to Benjamin Russell High. And, you know, again, we've been saying it all game long. The snaps have been killing them, and that one there is no different. It finally cost them drastically. If this was a close game, just you see the momentum shift by that one penalty. Instead of a long touchdown gainer, all of a sudden, then you get another bad snap and a turnover, and all of a, you know, at this point in time, it's, well, that's all she wrote other than semantics with the score at this point. Going to have some more points possibly from the Rattlers here. So for the defending champs, you know, defensively, great job, you know, coming out here today. So far pitching a shutout. Got to be happy with that. Oh, we've got some bleeder over here on the sideline. Elbow bleeding. Yeah, you'll be all right. It's football. Young man, that's Jonathan Jones. They list Mr. Jones here at 5'10", 170, but I'm looking at him from up here, and I don't see a 170. Very, very skinny young man out there. I give props to guys like that out there playing football, though, because they don't have the meat on their bones to when they get hit, that they, you know, maybe a little bit extra meat to kind of cover that up, you know. But skinny like that, you take a hit, you're feeling it right on your bone. First and 10 on the 11-yard line, so not quite a first and goal. You know, you see, it's funny here. We see first and 10 on the 11, but you see the back chain guy, he's lined up at the 3-yard line. Not quite where you're supposed to be standing, buddy. You can even see that in your camera view there. The back lines guy, he's a couple yards off there. First play going to be possible sack. He gets rid of it. Ball on the ground. Incomplete pass. Yes, that's great defense there to pin that ball to the ground. Hollis tried to make that pass, was unable. Second down and 10. Substitution for the defense.
So that'll be an incomplete pass.
Darion Dias heading out for a play. And coming in, Sergio Mendoza is actually listed as a wide receiver, but he's in here playing on defensive line. You got to mix things up sometimes. Tight end and quarterback, wide receiver on the defensive end spot. Never know what you're going to see.
Looking to put an exclamation point on this one.
See with this wide receiver if he can get a rush on the corner. I see why they have him there. Trying to see if he can get a little speed on that tackle. He gets there. I like the rush. Pass. Little bit short of the end zone. It's going to be first and goal on the 1-yard line. Nice pass there from Hollis. He was facing some pressure. First and goal. Looks like they're probably going to give the ball to the running back here and try and get into the end zone. They're on the half-yard line. Nice pass, as you see. He had just enough time to get it to his target. And if he had led the target a little bit, just a little bit, led him, it would have been an easy touchdown. He had a lot of open space to the right there. First and goal. Let's see if they can get a rushing touchdown on the board here. Prior 2 touchdowns have been passing touchdowns. Snap, the run. Fakes the run, goes with the pass. Caught. Touchdown, Rattlers. And guess who? Austin Winston, his second touchdown of the game.
Touchdown.
Winston, and now Hollis, who started out this game, he was like 0 of 8 in the first half, could not complete a pass to save his life. All of a sudden, now he's got 3 touchdown passes. Logan Hollis out of ARC getting the job done here today. 20-0 lead. They're going to go for 2, as again, we haven't seen any extra points being attempted. Two-point conversion. See if they run this one. I was expecting them to run that last one. Yeah, nope. Fakes the run again. Throws it. Incomplete. Good job for the Stars defense there. Got good pressure. Throws an incomplete pass. So another missed two-point conversion that's going to leave it at a 20-0 score. And the Stars probably coming up for their last possession here. And, even though you're not going to get a win, they would love to get some points on the board and not get shut out on their opening week of the season. So let's see if they can build off that last drive, even though it ended up in a bad snap turnover. They had a long play that would have been their first touchdown of the day if it wasn't for a penalty. But they were still able to get some success. Let's see if they can find a way back there here on this next drive.
Today's Madden Star Rating 707 player of the game is Austin Winston. 2 touchdowns on the day.
20-0 lead here at Vacaville Christian High. Week 1 of the Pacific Coast League. I hope you guys are enjoying some semi-pro football here on NorCal Sports TV. Quite a big break between the kickoff here. And Coach back on the field again for the Stars, lining up his players on the kickoff. We haven't seen him do this any other time other than when he's lining them up for the kickoff. But
Coach thinks this is a scrimmage here.
PA guy giving some jokes. Coach out here really, I think he's frustrated with the way his team is playing today. I don't think that they expected to be probably this out of sorts, but again, it's been so long since these guys have had game action. You can't really be too hard on your players, when they make mistakes. It's the mental errors that you want to avoid. Physical errors, those are going to happen. Mental errors, you need to avoid those. We've had quite a few of those today. Good kick return here. Breaks off some tackles out to the 40-yard line. Keeps going out to the 43. Nice return there. He's still crawling. Still crawling down the sideline. That was a very good return, though. And now we finally, first time all game, we've seen some life. We got a little bit of fighting over there, a little fracas. And they're going to separate the boys. I think they're separating them. It's hard to tell.
Come on, fellas, let's make this happen. Let's go.
All right, separated now. Coaches had to come out there a little bit, be like, yeah, we're better than you, you're better than us. Oh, that was the game. Okay. Is that what's happening here? I believe that it's hard for us to tell exactly if the game is over or if that was just the fight that's breaking down. Okay, so we'll let them figure out what they're doing here. Okay, so looks like they were just breaking up everything. We give the Stars the ball back here down 20-0. After that kick return, they're going to have some really good field position. And again, they're trying to get some points onto the board. They don't want to get pitched to shutout against.
Running to the line. Still ready to score here.
20-0 lead for the Rattlers.
And the Stars looking to get set
Faila back in there at quarterback. Better snap. He's got time to throw. Rushed out of the pocket. Avoids a tackle. And then the ball's loose, and it's recovered by the Rattlers. What a good play there. The ball, that forced fumble by number 99, Najee Pearson. He's recovered the last fumble. He forces this one. Recovered by Quintero Allen. And that, everything's falling apart. Everything's coming off the seams here.
Defensively and offensively.
Defense getting the job done, forcing turnovers. Having a good time on the sideline, and I don't blame them. And now that might be the game. I think
So after all these days of sitting in the house waiting,
we're going to see,
we
but
come to see that
no,
the rest of this football
it's hard for them to
player-
tell because the coaches all keep coming onto the field and confusing everybody. I think that we're still going. Based on our rolling clock here, we're at about the 7-minute mark, so should still be some game time left. It's been unfortunate here for the fourth quarter for the Stars. Everything has fallen off the seams when it seemed like for a moment they were going to cut this to a 14-7 game. They had a long touchdown, but it was called back, and ever since that happened, as we said, that was a backbreaker, and it's proven as such. As since then, they've turned the ball over 2 times and are in danger of giving up 2 more touchdowns when at one point they were only down in this game 14-0.
Are just going to try to really make it happen right now. Hollis says no need to run out the clock.
Let's see what the Rattlers do on offense. False start here.
And it backfired.
They put a man in motion and ended up causing their offensive line to get a little bit antsy. Bring the ball back 5 yards, 1st and 15.
It'll be 1st and 15.
Looks like softball is over there. We're getting ready to finish up here. And all the action out here at Vacaville Christian High will die down for the evening. Got to thank them for having us out here, talking to one of the coaches before the game. This was the only field open in the 707 region for them to get into today. So appreciate the Vacaville Christian people for allowing this game to happen. Hopefully, as time goes on, there's going to be a lot more open fields. You know, the pandemic has made things very difficult for everybody. Pass there going to be incomplete, and that was not too far away from a lateral. He only threw that forward by about a half a yard, and being that it was incomplete, you know, you make a lateral in that situation, you can give the other team 3 points. It's going to be 2nd down and 15.
Like a little trickery on the Rattlers' part.
See what the Rattlers do here. Really surprised to see them passing the ball at this point. Yeah, they're probably trying to work on a few things, but, you know, I don't know if this is necessarily the best time to work on anything when, you know, the other team is having such trouble, you know, with everything in general. Going to get a flag called for a delay of game. 2nd down and about 20 now. And we see Hollis calling an audible to his team. Looked like something like an Eagles wave or something like that with his hands. Saying, hey, we're not going to get a delay game again. I like that. You know, running clock is one thing. Taking delays is another. And the ball is dropped. Had a lot of open field in front of him and just drops the football. How many drops have we seen today? We've seen a lot of drops today on both sides. 3rd and 20. Yeah, as far as the end of the game situation like this goes, I recall doing a game pretty recently, a couple years back, where so frustrating that the team was taking delay games at the end, the last 5-6 minutes on the rolling clock, instead of just running the ball a couple times. You know, maybe they're trying to avoid injuries and such, but from the other side of the map, it looks pretty bad sportsmanship for the other side when you're just sitting there taking delay a game, letting the game end. So I don't like seeing that. I'm glad to see Hollis audibling and making things go quicker here. Had a receiver, but overthrows him by a few yards, and it's going to bring up 4th down. Hollis takes a shot, goes down to the ground, and asks the official to help him up.
18.
Is he allowed to do that? I guess. I don't think the official minds too much.
I love the intensity. Love the intensity.
So that'll be a turnover on downs, or that was third down, so now it'll be fourth.
40 with the pressure on him. Nice hit.
Fourth in a mile. Got about 20 yards to go. They need to get all the way down to the 26. So, again, give the Stars defense credit. They got to take some positives out of this. I can say their defense has played great today. I mean, they've only given up 20 points in a situation where really could have given up a lot more than that. The Rattlers are going to burn their first time out of the half, I believe. As we know, the Stars used all of their timeouts within the first half of the third quarter, which is not something you see typically. Put you in a situation to where if you're in a close game down the stretch, you're out of timeouts, it's not good. They could have been down 7 if it wasn't for that penalty on that long touchdown. What more could you ask for on a beautiful Saturday afternoon? Weather is great. It's not too hot. Now, I want to thank you guys for tuning in back home. 150 viewers here today. Gotta love that. Again, I appreciate you guys taking your time out of your day to tune in to us instead of, maybe watching March Madness or fooling around on a Saturday afternoon. So thank you guys for that. We hope that you're enjoying watching your friends and your family out here having a good time, because I can say, even though there's been a lot of miscues and it's not been the cleanest of football, that everybody out there is having a good time. If you, I mean, maybe not the coaches. Coaches might be a little frustrated, but the players, there's not one player that's out on that field that is going to tell you that they didn't have fun today, and that much I can promise you. And I'm not inside one of their heads, not a one of them, but I can tell you they would all say that. A fake punt, passed. Oh, could have been intercepted. Going to be incomplete pass, and see if the Stars are going to have enough time here now to go down the field and still get those points on the board. So that's going to be a turnover on downs. That was very close. If that ball was picked off, he probably would have taken it the whole way.
Stars here with a little bit of time left. Looking to make something happen.
It's going to have the ball out near the midfield area.
Rattlers.
Faila coming back out there. Yeah, this game really turned on its head at the end of the first half. It was 8-0 Rattlers, which is still a one-score game, but the starting quarterback, Nate Marin, went out on a sack, and he has not re-entered this game. And I feel like that was the real moment in time of this game where, the Rattlers basically took full control and realized that they were going to come out as the victory today. So, Faila back out there. And they're trying to figure out if they have enough players on the field. And he's like, wait a minute, no. If one guy was trying to come on, he's like, well, am I out there? Am I not? Faila's like, I need my other guy. And that's because he wants somebody else blocking on this rush here. They're going to be bringing the house, looks like. Nope, they step off. Faila has time, has a receiver. Oh, incomplete pass. There were two receivers in the same spot, and I think that caused just enough confusion to make an incomplete pass there. But it was a good job from Faila to locate his receiver. He's mobile in the pocket. That's one thing I like from him. You got to give him credit. I think came in and done a really good job. The 2 turnovers that have happened while he was on the field were bad snaps. Has nothing to do with him. He did the best that he could in those plays, and the rest of the time he's been in there, he's done a good job. That's a good pass there. That ball should be caught. He went on the run and he made a decent throw, and he needs to get a little bit of help from his teammates. He needs to have more plays like he had. Even though it was called back from Booker. Oh, he's going to get sacked here. House is brought, and he didn't see the backside pressure. Nail him for the sack there. Dominic Holloway leading the way on the sack, and it's going to bring up 3rd and a mile.
And 6. All on the tackle there.
Third down and about 17 here.
So it'll be third and very long.
Based on our rolling clock, we're probably heading up on our final few plays of the game here.
Stop the long threat.
And quite a long huddle here. Without a timeout being called, that's wonder where the delay of game is. I think officials are kind of working with him. We got a slow walk-off from an offensive lineman. I think that might be why they stopped for a moment here. And he goes down to one knee. Hope he's okay. A lot of guys just getting back into game action here. Faila, and he's going to go down again.
Number 45.
That was Demetric Antonio out of Sacramento. Also went to San Diego with the sack.
Receivers have to be frustrated today. I've seen a lot of open receivers today.
Fourth down and way long. See if they're. I don't think they're punting it now, or they might be. Actually, it does look like they're sending a punter back there. Yeah. Why let Faila get into any more stuff? Just punt the ball away and take your L at this point. But again, the Stars' defense has really looked strong today, so they could take that away from this game at the very least, that their defense has really stepped up today. We had a couple of guys making big plays for them all day long defensively. DJ Rose, stand out today for the Stars, was all over the place on the defensive line. And then we had guys like Dante Mills and Brandon Boyd in there today making some decent plays for them. The punt happens, and he tries to field it. Good job from the defense. He was right on top of it. So it's going to bring up first down at the 46-yard line for the Rattlers. And at this point in time, clock is ticking away, and we may be down to our past couple of plays here. Rattlers are going to pitch a shutout today, so that's something they're going to take out of a positive. Their quarterback was able to get through some early first half jitters and was able to come out with a decent performance today. End up getting 3 touchdown passes. Got to give him props. Logan Hollis got the job done. And we had Winston with 2 touchdown receptions.
Melted on you.
And the Rattlers coming back out for the final possession of this game. Might just be a couple of running plays or maybe even some knees being taken.
And the Rattlers will come to the line.
Depending on if there's any love loss with these two teams, we'll find out right now. If they take a knee, then we'll see that, these two teams, maybe not some killer rivals, but if they actually keep playing here, then we'll see, hey, maybe not. Let's put it to them. It can go either way. We'll see here. Looks like he's taking a knee. That's the good sportsman-like way to end a football game, and I like that. Just going to go down on it, and you know what? They don't even have the quarterback out there to do it. That was Brandon Avery, the backup quarterback. Backup quarterback is in there now for Hollis.
Against the San Jose Stars.
And the Rattlers are going to get the win on the opening game of the season. The defending champs are going to come back and start off the season fresh with a shutout and a victory. You cannot ask much more for that. It's only semantical now. They're going to have a couple more knees, and they're going to drain the remainder of this clock. So, this game started out very slow. Both teams, a lot of miscues. But overall, the Rattlers are going to be the better team today. They were the defending champs. They were expected to come out and have a good game today, and they did that for the most part. They were only able to score 20 points. They had some decent game for their quarterback there. Hollis had 3 touchdown passes, Winston with 2 receiving, and then we had 1 from Jordan Jackson to put all of the points together in this game. The Stars didn't score any points. They were able to play some solid defense. There were a few possessions where they were able to stop the Rattlers. So, nothing to hold your head down about if you're the Stars. You didn't play horribly today. You had a good defensive standout, and, a lot of things to work offensively for both sides. A lot of miscues that need to be shored up, snapping situations, too many penalties. But minus that, today was a big day for a lot of people here. Everybody got to get back on the football field, to go have a good time, to do what they love. And as you can see, even though they lost over there, I don't see a lot of Stars players holding their heads down. Everybody's smiling. They're having a good time. This is what they love to do, and this is what I love to do. And I thank you guys for tuning in back home. I'm Dustin Paget here. I want to thank Jason and my cameraman here. Without these guys, wouldn't have been able to get this done. And without you at home, we wouldn't have a reason to do it. So thank you guys for tuning in. We hope you have a blessed Saturday. Until next time on NorCal Sports TV.